I was angry.
For Jessica Ostrowski, the sight of workers in full hazmat suits unearthing 22 chemical drums beneath the former Grumman aerospace dumping grounds was unnerving. The discovery on the site now known as Bethpage Community Park stirred up decades-old suspicions about the toll she believes living in the neighborhood may have taken.
Every birthday and Mother's Day since I spent in the cemetery.
Ostrowski lost her mother Barbara to cancer at age 49 in 2002. She says 2 other women living directly next to her on Jacqueline Street also died of cancer.
And it was all around the same time, so it was boom, boom, boom. So at that point, you scratch your head and say, what's a coincidence and what's going on?
Ostrowski is among former and current Bethpage residents, along with several local lawmakers, now demanding answers. They're calling on the State Department of Health to conduct a new comprehensive study of cancer and other illnesses in the area where Grumman's historic disposal of toxic waste polluted soil and groundwater.
So we know the water is tested, we know that the site is tested, but our confidence has been shaken. So we need to find out whether or not people really are going to be safe for the long term.
The concrete-encased drums discovered this spring contained numerous cancer-causing metals and compounds that Grumman had used in its manufacturing. Environmental regulators said there's no evidence the drums contributed to the already well-established contamination of Bethpage by the same materials. Newsday investigative reporter Paula Rocco, who has been covering the story for 6 years, says many residents who've lost loved ones to cancer are not convinced.
In 2013, they only studied a 19-20 block area right by the park where there were some soil vapors of chemicals that kind of seeped into below people's homes. And they said that there was no evidence that there were any unusual rates of cancer in that area. And that disappointed and angered people back then because they said, well, they didn't really look hard enough.
Among the chorus of critics, Town of Oyster Bay Supervisor Joseph Saladino. He told Newsday, quote, the continued discovery of Grumman contaminants in the ground, along with the growing plume, warrant an updated and in-depth health study.
This is my sister, Cindy.
Christine Fischetti agrees. She lost her sister, Cindy, at age 4 to a brain tumor in 1961. Fischetti and her sister lived on Sycamore Avenue, not far from the land where chemicals were dumped and drums buried.
When I read about the drums that were encased in the cement that was buried on the property, then I really, they must have known something was not right or hazardous.
The State Health Department says there are no plans to launch a new health study. This, as a second contractor is currently scanning the soil beneath Bethpage Community Park for more drums. A State Health Department spokesperson said, quote, when and where community concerns are raised, the Department of Health's role is to evaluate whether there are or have been exposures that may have affected public health and to provide a transparent report with an explanation of previous and current health risks. This role has been carried out.
More should have been done.
Ostrowski and other Bethpage residents who've lost loved ones to cancer say the state's position is short-sighted.
Nothing's bringing these people back, but what we could do is save the future.
Newsday reached out to Northrop Grumman for comment, but we have not heard back. For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.